Right, about time this clutch went on, I think, and gearbox. So gearbox has been off the car now for probably getting on for a couple of months, and the car is like this on stands, look, on a jack and a stand, but even so it moves around quite a bit. So when I'm underneath there working on it, it's all moving around a bit, which is not too special, to be honest. Don't really float my boat, I gotta say it. So yeah, once that clutch is fitted, gearbox is back in, gearbox is on that mount there, it'd be a lot more firm, stable, secure, I think. Just be a lot more confident working underneath this thing. So that's the name of the game today. There's all my bits for my clutch, look. There's my new clutch kit. So 3-piece kit there, fucking hell, kit in the middle. New dual mass as well. Didn't necessarily need that, as it turns out, because the old one, I ordered all this before I took the old one off. That's the old stuff there on the left, and that is actually alright. There's nothing wrong with that dual mass. Equally, nothing wrong with that friction plate and clutch plate. It's all decent. You probably can't see because this is the GoPro I'm using to film this, but those rivets are quite deep down. There's quite a little bit of material left on there. The CSC was a little bit noisy, so hence another CSC Valio, metal framed, metal bodied I should say. Slightly superior to the Luck, I think. So clutch kit's all Luck, and that's all everyone ever recommends for these things, to be honest. So I got new stretch bolts for the dual mass, for the new dual mass. There's a part number, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I got new bolts for the pressure plate. So I had a little bit of a dilemma. So like I said, that's the old one, that's the old dual mass, that's the old friction plate, and there's a new one. So if you notice, the old friction plate, like the new pointer by the way, the old friction plate, it's got springs on, so that means it's dual mass. So not only did I have a dual mass flywheel, but I had a dual mass friction plate as well. The new one, single mass, and a new dual mass. So that is right. That is, you either have one or the other, I think, as far as I'm aware. You don't have both. So how I ended up with both in the car originally, I don't know. Anyway, anyone knows, let me know, because that puzzled me a little bit. But anyway, it's getting changed out. That's all going in, the Valio. So I will be looking at flogging all that lot, I think, not the CSC, but I can put that CSC in with it, the LUK concentric slave cylinder with that and that. And like I said, I'll take some close-up pictures of that friction plate, but that's decent. Like I said, didn't really need to do it. The only thing that really needed changing is that CSC is a little bit noisy, but yeah, people are probably saying, well, why'd you bother, like, you know, just take it apart and see what you need. But I just thought while the gearbox was off, I'll just change it all out, you know. I mean, I just replace it all for brand new. I wanted to do that real main seal anyway, but this is me anyway. This is my hobby. I don't do fishing, I don't do golf. It's all a bit shit if you ask me. I like being out here having a couple of beers, innit, working on a Mondeo. Anyway, let's get on with it. everything's had a good clean up, and now we're ready for it all to go back on. So that's first, easy peasy. So now I'm going to get this flywheel on, quite weighty, and they only go on in one particular way, so all these holes, I think, from what I can make out so far, are all slightly different positions, so this flywheel will only fit on in one position, if you see what I'm saying. So I'm probably going to have to rotate it to make all the holes line up. Yeah, there's just one or two holes not lining up there. Same again there, and there. Yeah, I think that's it. So if I get a top bolt in, these are 15s. Bit of a strange size, I know, but right, that's all I've snugged up. So now they need to be torqued up in a certain sequence. So I think it's you start at the top and then you go opposite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the torque setting is 80, and I've already got that set up. As you can see, or maybe not, just there, can you? I've got my flywheel locking tool, so hopefully that's going to make life easy for me doing this. Right, so it starts with that one. Doesn't really matter which one you start with, I don't think, as long as you go opposites. 80. Right, so here we go. Obviously friction plate and pressure plate, so they make it pretty simple nowadays. I don't know if you see, but just there, it says flywheel side. So obviously that goes that way round. So when you fit it, it all goes towards the flywheel side. And then equally, I think that is German for gearbox side there. But anyway, you've got the flywheel side on that side, so stamped into the metal, so it's pretty, very idiot proof really. But let's test that out. Right, so these tools can be a little bit, for me anyway, can be a little bit of a challenge. So basically you get the tool through there, wind that bit out, or in I should say. So basically it holds it all center. Let's do it up a bit tighter. I think that is us. I think that's pretty good. Yep. Right, let's get it on. Go, just go around, tighten them up evenly. Okay, that's stopped now. So I'll just go around and get them all done. So it's stopped, and then I'll get a torque wrench on them. It's probably being a little bit over cautious, a little bit too fussy, but I just like to, things like this, I just like to tighten it down gradually before I do the final torque and torque sequence, just to make sure it's nice and square, it's sat home nice and square. Yeah, that's definitely stopped now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I think they're only something like 27 Newton meters, so get the other torque wrench a minute. Again, opposites. So that's it. Just one last check. Good measure. That's it. They're done. Quick look through the hole, just to make sure it does look about right. That looks pretty good to me. Soon find out when we put this gearbox on. Right, that's next. Whew. Right, I thought I'd do this little cut-in just to explain a little bit better than what I did in the previous footage. I did actually miss filming getting this part into the concentric slave cylinder fitting. So let me just get it out and I'll show you. So there's a little clip there. Be really careful not to lose that. So basically, the last you would have seen in the video was that fitting was on top of the gearbox like that. Obviously the metal pipes going that way. That's your feed for your clutch fluid. So the clutch and the brakes are using the same fluid on the Mark III Mondeo. So basically, yeah, that fitting was like that. I had a little green cap on top of there, so took that cap off, spun it round on the pipe, and then I connected that into the top of the concentric slave cylinder fitting on top of the clutch like that. That little clip has got to go back in as well to lock it all in place, just like that. Look. So once all that's clipped together, you should be fluid tight, if you see what I'm saying. You shouldn't get any leaks. So now you're ready to bleed the clutch up. So basically, if you undo that fitting, I had a little bit of pipe coming off of there just to go in underneath the car in a container, just to save any mess. So yeah, if you undo that fitting, go into the car, push the clutch pedal down, leave it down on the floor, come back to the engine bay, nip that back up again, go back into the car, lift the pedal back up, come back round to the engine bay, undo that, back into the car, clutch pedal down, and so on. Keep going like that, you know. I also used a pressure bleeder as well, so that helps. That helps stop any air being drawn back in, because obviously that's the last thing you want. The whole purpose of this is to get all the air out. So yeah, just do that, what I was saying, and that should be it. That should be your clutch pedal bled up nicely.